Hey, what is going on, guys? It is that time once again. You, my pretty babies, are checking out an all new the RCWR show. It is our Sunday night edition of the RCWR show as we're talking about WWE Summerslam. It is our after show special. Do appreciate you guys that are tuning in live right now or will be checking this out on demand and or on the downloads for Sunday night of August the 19th, 2018. And if you guys that were waiting patiently online via YouTube, if you saw the graphic, you would have seen that, yes, you actually will be able to call into the show and you'll be able to talk with me and the rest of the listeners slash those that had watched tonight's SummerSlam pay-per-view event. You'll be able to talk about the pay-per-view. What was your highs? What was your lows? All that. So definitely stay tuned. Look forward to that phone number being put out there so you can kick back, smile, and dial. So we're keeping it simplistic tonight because I'm still playing around with some new software. And we're taking it easy. We are streaming via Spreaker, and we're also streaming via YouTube. Yes, I'm keeping it very simplistic tonight. I really was not trying to be streaming all over the place. Actually, three outlets, now that I think about it. We're streaming live on YouTube, we're streaming live on Spreaker, and we're streaming live via the RCWR Show app, available for free in the Google Play Store, so make sure you represent and go check that out. But yeah, I really wanted to keep it simplistic tonight, so hope you guys appreciate that. God, what a long event, but overall, an okay pay-per-view event. Please don't ask me to compare it to NXT TakeOver, because that's just not fair. But if you were to ask me to compare this year's SummerSlam to last year's SummerSlam, I would say for me, this one actually kind of edged out a little bit more better. Give or take, some areas this year's was good, but then you look at some things that came from last year's SummerSlam that was actually pretty good. But yeah, it's a matter of preference, I personally think. But with regards to this event overall tonight, it was a decent event. I definitely want to know what you guys had thought. We have a couple of polls that's up right now. We have one that's available on the YouTube channel. Head on over to youtube.com/the RCWR Show. Click on the Communities tab page, and you'll be able to see it that way. Also, we have it available on Twitter at the RCWR Show, where we're asking you guys. We got some early polling results coming in so far. Looks pretty decent. Now, for those of you that's watching the stream, let me know if you experience any weird hiccups. If there's any buffering issues, check your respected internet connection. Make sure that you're on point. And if you're on point and you think it might be something at my end, let me know, because I'm still playing around with some new streaming software. So there's going to be a couple of hiccups until I'm able to really fine tune this. You guys may also notice we have a graphic at the bottom of the screen which says the road to 15,000 subscribers. Just a little bit of a recap. So as it stands right now, we have 11,500 subscribers on YouTube. What I would like to see happen before or by next year's WrestleMania, I would love it if we could see that go from 11,500 to 15,000 subscribers. So if you are new, welcome. Please do consider subscribing so you never do miss out on all the great content we do for you here on a weekly basis. A lot of stuff we pump out every single week, covering the latest in wrestling, entertainment, and beyond, and been doing it oh so well since 2011. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about this damn pay-per-view event. Make sure you guys smash the like button and all that. All right, so we had the pre-show match. I watched everything. Watched the 2-hour pre-show. Hey, Renee Young, David Otunga, nice seeing Jerry the King Lawler. I gotta give WWE a lot of credit. I know sometimes they get a little bit of a bad rep in some decision makings, right? But you know what? It was a really classy move to see WWE extend a little bit of an olive branch, if you will, to Jerry the King Lawler, and kind of saying to him, hey, look, we're here for you. We're always your family. look, we'd love it if you can come on over here and help us out during SummerSlam weekend. What do you say? I really just thought that was very classy of WWE to do. And if you remember, they also did the same thing when Jim Ross's wife had passed away a couple of years back. And, you know, that was really classy right there. It was kind of warm. Nice and warm is how you felt when you saw that WWE had did that olive branch like that. So, Jerry, to see him tonight, I don't know how it was for you guys, but for me, I definitely had mixed emotions because I was happy, but then at the same time, I'm going, man, look at this guy. He looks like he's been bawling his eyes out for multiple days. He looked smaller. I'm not sure if maybe that was camera tricks or what, but he appeared to be a little bit smaller, and maybe I would say he looked as though, since last I saw him, he looked as though he probably dropped about 20 pounds. And let me tell you something, when you are in mourning or you're just going through the emotions, right? Yeah, and it depends on how severe it is. The last thing on your mind is going to be eating, and you lose weight really, really quick. Let me tell you. I remember a couple of years back, I don't know how it was for some of you guys, but I remember a couple of years back, there was someone that was a really close friend of mine that I had lost, close friend of the family, actually. And I was not good for about a week. And I remember I lost about 25 pounds. I would drink water, but that was it. I like it got to a point where people were like damn near getting ready to force me to eat. You know, that's how serious it was. Cause you know, I mean, I was staying hydrated and all that, but I just didn't want to eat for anything. And I had a lot of friends and close family members that were really concerned. But yeah, just from the last time that I had saw Jerry, kind of looked as though maybe he had dropped about 20 pounds, give or take. But I thought it was a really nice, touching, classy move that WWE had did and extending that olive branch to him, honestly. So, but other than that, who else was there at the pre-show, guys? I'm trying to think. Weather returning, JBL. JBL, he was on the main stage area up towards the ramp doing a little bit of color spotlight on some of the matches coming up with Peter Rosenberg. I thought that combination was pretty good. Actually put a smile on my face because I must say, what was the show that they had did together? I want to say it was Bring It to the Table. I actually had enjoyed that show. Seemed promising. Was it my guilty pleasure from the WWE Network? No, it was not my guilty pleasure, but I did enjoy their pairing. I thought it was odd, but quite a complimentary pairing. I thought they complemented each other very well. It was nice seeing them together again. Really, JBL. You know, I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for JBL. Talk about some of these pre-show matches that we had, guy. Watched all this, and I gotta say, man, the pre-show matches this year for SummerSlam freaking delivered. First off, to open up our pre-show, we had Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. They had defeated Rusev and Lana. You know, this was actually a pretty good intergender tag team matchup. So much so, I just felt really, really bad that these guys actually did not make it onto the actual pay-per-view card itself. Because when you go back and you watch the match, it actually was pretty good. It was actually deserving of being on the actual pay-per-view card itself. And, you know, I actually, because sadly, I didn't watch a majority of the Mixed Match Challenge. But I am catching up on it as a gamer because those of you that are also fellow gamers, you know, WWE Champions on Android and iOS, they recently had rolled out. And it's kind of funny because obviously a lot of fans wanted it. And I actually was one of the first to go on record and say, hey, WWE Champions, you developers, listen up. You guys need to incorporate the women. Make it possible for fans to be able to play as the female superstars in the game. Like, you're missing out on really great more ad revenue opportunity, and you're missing out on an opportunity to expand upon the life expectancy of the game by doing that. And took them long enough, but you can finally now play as, I'm trying to think who's available right now. Nia Jax is available. Who else is available, guys? Alexa Bliss, you get a promo code for Alexa Bliss. Asuka is a playable character. Natty is a playable character. The best game skin so far for WWE Champions, I would have to say it's Alexa Bliss, hands down. And I think those of you that have been playing that game a lot, you would definitely agree with me, especially if it's a situation where, because you got to be careful. If you're pushing an older model, iOS or whatever, like I would say iOS for your tablet devices or phones or whatnot, I would have to say if you're pushing 11 and higher, you're going to be able to see the really bomb ass graphics. And I would have to say that Alexa Bliss's skin is very superb. If you're pushing an Android, it just really depends. I think if you're like maybe on a Samsung Galaxy 6, maybe a 7 and up, the skin is actually pretty damn decent as well. I've seen it on multiple platform, so that's how I'm able to know how the skin looks. But I think she has the best render for the game. As far as who has the worst game render, believe it or not, and you have to go see for it yourself, the worst game render so far for a female superstar on that particular platform, it has to go to Ronda Rousey. And I'm not bashing. You got to see the game skin. It's horrific. It's really horrific. But no, I thought they did a really good job with. How the hell did we get on the topic of game skins? I know we were talking about the pay-per-view event, pre-show. Oh, Mixed Match Challenge. See, it connects. I know I kind of wandered off there. I'm sorry about that. No, but we were talking about Mixed Match Challenge. Yeah. So I sadly did not get an opportunity to see a big majority of Mixed Match Challenge, but the little bit that I saw of Rusev and Lana teaming up, I actually enjoyed it, and it really seemed as though Lana was adapting more personality from her husband, and I just always kind of felt like, you know what, this really seems to be working. It's kind of finding a niche. It's kind of getting the fans talking. Why not expand upon this further? So to be able to see the couple really transfer more over on the blue brand these past couple of months, and just what we've been getting the past 2 months in particular, I've actually been enjoying it. The feud with Zelina Vega, Cien Almas, it's been okay, but I actually enjoyed their tag match tonight. Very short. It really nothing you can really sink your teeth into. It was under 9 minutes at most. There was no interference whatsoever from Aiden English. As leading up to this match, Aiden English was seen backstage. He actually had approached Rusev and Lana, and he was trying to sing them an apology song, but Rusev was not trying to hear it. Neither was Lana, and Rusev pretty much told him, no, we don't want to hear no songs right now. The only thing that matters right now is Rusev Day. You're staying back here. Enough said. And that was it. He actually stayed backstage. So I think that's kind of awesome, because we were just on here a couple of days ago, and I was offering match predictions for SummerSlam. And I said, just kind of keeping up with storyline consistency, it makes a lot of sense in the world to deny Aiden English at all costs. No, you cannot come out here and push come to shove. You put some type of a stipulation out there, and it's awesome that it didn't resort to putting out some type of a stipulation. I'm glad it was just, no, we've pretty much had enough of you, Aiden. No, you stay back here. We are done, right? We had saw the team of Cien Almas and Zelina Vega defeat Rusev and Lana. So now going into the next batch of SmackDown programming, one can make the argument now, storyline wise, you can kind of say, well, how's this going to play out now? Is it going to be a situation where Aiden English says to Rusev and Lana, hey, that maybe would not have happened if you would have had me at ringside, if you would have just taken advantage of me. I am your friend. I'm trying to be there for you. Honestly, I know some people don't want to see that great trio of a team be broken up, but it just really feels so natural, and it feels so right that we get to that point where we break Aiden English away from Rusev. I mean, really, he doesn't need Aiden English anymore. If anything, Aiden English kind of needs the services of one Rusev more than Rusev needs him. But I know we have some people that's diehard Aiden English fans, and they're probably wondering, well, if you get him away from Rusev, what's going to happen next, Lee? What do you do then? And honestly, I would personally, I would love to see him. I would love to see him. I won't say go back down to NXT. I definitely won't say that. But I think he may actually be a pretty good addition to the 205 Live division. Quite honestly, I think an interesting yet odd pairing between him and gentleman Jack Gallagher. I think that would be something in the cards. Why WWE hasn't pulled the trigger on something like that just yet, you got me. But I think as far as what could be in store for him in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's something that comes about. So, you know, we'll wait and see how that plays out. But that was a pretty decent tag team match. Wish it would have ran a little bit longer, and I also wish that it would have been on the actual pay-per-view card itself, but that's okay. Did you guys take note of some of the 3D graphics that we got tonight, depending on who the superstar was that was coming out? Finn Balor had a pretty good entrance, and when you see how it was basically a demon red sky, a three-dimensional graphic demon sky or whatever, that was pretty cool. We had Roman Reigns. There was like a Rock Ryler, or Pitbull or whatever above his head as he was coming out. You had Carmella. She had the dollar signs that was just exploding or whatever. Kind of had a nice old, I would say 90s, early 2000s vibe to it, the way that they did the graphics. It was kind of like a nice throwback, if you will. Yet it looked so low budget, you know, because it's like, wait a minute. Other than Finn Balor, nobody else really had that was a pretty impressive, well thought out entrance. You know, as far as like pyros and all that jazz goes, unless I missed somebody, there was nobody else that really had a banging entrance tonight. But it was really kind of cool seeing some of those graphics be brought back. It kind of, for me, I don't know how it was for you, but it definitely had brought back a smile on my face. Made me think about the early days when they were running around with those kind of graphics. We had our next pre-show matchup. That had consisted of Cedric Alexander defeating Drew Gulak for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. We had Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick. They were banned from ringside. Let me tell you something. If you guys had missed this pre-show match, whether it was because you don't care for the Cruiserweight division, you don't care for 205, you don't care for just these two guys maybe particularly, or what have you, or you just missed it just cuz, go back and please, I would implore you, go check out this matchup. Of all the pre-show matches, for pre-shows, this stole the whole damn pre-show 2-hour event as far as I was concerned. These two guys went out there and they competed like they were having a WrestleMania match. I mean, you weren't sure if you were watching them trying to fight for a spot on the WrestleMania card, or if these guys were fighting as if their jobs depended on it because, you know, somebody was going to get fired or whatever. That actually may be the case. You never know. I'm only speculating. Don't pay me no mind. But no, these guys had a phenomenal matchup. And it was so funny because originally I just have the TV on playing in the background and I'm just messing around on the computer. I'm getting some graphics together and I'm looking up at the screen from time to time, and I'm looking at the match, and I'm going, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, the more and more I kept looking up, I, like, ended up just finally stopping what I was doing on the computer, and I just ended up watching these guys, and, I mean, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it so much so that, you know what, I'm gonna see what's been going on with 205 since last I had saw it, because I gotta be honest, the last time I watched 205, and this is showing how long it's been for me, and I'm sure it's the same story for a lot of people. You gotta excuse me if I'm hiccuping. That's because I'm enjoying only one beer I've had tonight. I was gonna drink two, But I said, nah, I'll stick to one. So I'm doing one hit wonder here. Tonight's alcohol of choice. I'm a big fan of Dogfish Head, and tonight I decided to try something a little different. I've got something called Midas Touch Ancient Ale. And it says here, somewhere between wine and mead, our original ancient ale is made with ingredients found in 2,700-year-old drinking vessels in the tomb of King Midas. Barley, honey, white muscat, grapes, and saffron. And you pretty much get right down to the ingredients. Ale brewed with honey, grapes, and saffron. And it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. 12 fluid ounces, 9% alcohol by volume. So pretty damn good. I would definitely recommend you guys that's into good IPAs and all that. Check it out. It's actually pretty damn good. See the design there. It's actually pretty damn good. But these guys were actually pretty damn good. I'm actually going to check out 205. The last time I watched 205 was when Enzo was the Cruiserweight champion. That was the last time I was remotely interested in 205. And they have been going through some serious growing pains and all that. But I tell you what they had did tonight, Drew Gulak and Cedric Alexander, I'm now curious. I want to know what's been going on with 205. So I am going to definitely dedicate a weekend. It actually might be as soon as I get off the air, because I'm actually off work for a couple of days, because I'm getting ready to pack up and prepare for this trip to Chicago. So I got to take care of some last minute errands. You know, Chicago for the CM Punk meet and greet, pretty much going down all in weekend. So I actually might do a little bit of binge watching on 205. And I'll talk about it more on this Tuesday's RCWR show for sure, and let you guys know if it's maybe something you should be making an investment in or not. But my hat's off to those two guys. They freaking had a awesome matchup. Again, Cedric Alexander defeating Drew Gulak to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Our next pre-show matchup, call it luck be a lady tonight. The B team, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, they defeated the Revival for the Raw Tag Team titles. Pretty short matchup. That was barely over 5 minutes. Let me tell you something, man. So much for the Revival, and I put the tweet out as soon as I saw this match conclude. So much for the Revival getting some type of a rub, right? I'm just, it's frustrating. It really is. You know, if you were a fan of the Revival from NXT, and look, man, not everybody is gonna be chasing after singles championship titles and all that, but when you look at a team like the Revival, you know, I almost kind of go back and I say, damn, remember how at one point Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, you know, they kind of had a little bit of buzz to them. Eventually, they had got a tag team title run. By the way, speaking of them, I think it was really funny because Carl Anderson had put out a tweet and he said, hey, for you guys that's asking where we are, why we aren't at SummerSlam, we're actually under the ring. And he said something along the lines of, you know, appreciate you guys cheering and all that for us, but where was this when we needed it the most? Like, come on, you know, you got to represent. That's the only way we can make it on cards like this. So they were watching SummerSlam. They were watching everything that was coming about. They were just under the ring, apparently. Yeah. And you see the picture of them and you're going, all right, you guys are there just in spirit. Okay, whatever. But I look at a team like the Revival. I look at those guys and I say, man, this is really infuriating. This is really frustrating. Like, what is it going to take to see these two men finally start getting over on the main flagship show? And it just, honestly, when it's all said and done, we can pretty much say that the Revival's run on Raw is just common sense. You know, I'm not probably telling anybody anything new. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, just how you guys are a fan, I'm a fan. And for me, it's just really infuriating to see a tag team like the Revival continue to be in the position that they're in, where I still feel they would better thrive going over to SmackDown. right? And I know we're going to have some people that's going to say, well, no, maybe they should go to NXT. Nah, for some people, I do believe in, what, need a little bit more seasoning, go on back to NXT, pulled you out the oven a little bit too soon. But then there's that part of me that says, no, you know what? With regards to you, I kind of look at it on a case-by-case basis. And when I look at a team like the Revival, it's no, no, no. You're given all the necessary tools needed. You thrived. You showed growth. You showed a lot of potential. Okay, you've graduated. And honestly, since they've been up on the Raw show, they've just, and we can sit here and we can go down memory lane and talk about what probably all led up to them being in the position that they're in right now. But I think, honestly, their last saving grace right now would be if it's a situation where they get sent on over to SmackDown. Maybe that can kind of help them a bit. Because, honestly, if it doesn't work out for them on SmackDown, then it's safe to say that as far as their future goes, they may be involved in some silly comedic skits. That could honestly be eventually their future. And it would be quite sad if it ended up happening. But I think as a last ditch effort, a last attempt, they should be sent over to SmackDown and maybe something can happen for them that way. The B team, I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm fans of Curtis Axel. I'm fans of Bo Dallas. But this whole, I'm still not quite behind it just yet. And it's so interesting because when they were out there tonight and they had their tag team match, the crowd definitely, they really could care less about either team. But I always have a philosophy of, well, whoever the champion is, pay attention to them. Pay attention to them from the minute that they come out. Pay attention to how when they're, if they're faces, pay attention to how they're interacting with the crowd. And if the interactions that is coming from the crowd to them, if it's coming off sincere, if you can get a really good gauge, if it's unanimous or what. And I think that's very clever from the production standpoint when you have these guys come out. As corny as it sounds, you've got the whole B team, go, go, go. B team, go, go, go. I think that's good because if you just close your eyes and visually you just picture it from a stage production standpoint and you're trying to capture the ears of fans in attendance or catch the ears of those watching at home, I think that's a great call to action. I really, really do, because you're stopping, you're seeing what's going on, and then you're kind of reacting from there. But the fans, especially those in New York, and New York, I always say New York is a very smart city. They've seen it all these decades, man. They know talent when they see it. And to really feel the gauge from the New York crowd, indifferent with regards to the B team. So, you kind of wonder, well, if it isn't the Revival, if it isn't Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, who could it be? Who's that next team? And the only team I can honestly think of right now that can definitely take those titles off of them would be the Authors of Pain. The only thing is, the Authors of Pain, and there's another problem. I'm not going to rehash all that. I'm really not. But that's another problem in itself right there with regards to AOP. But just looking down the road, for those of you that want me to look into the crystal ball and try to figure out, well, what's possibly next for the B team, I would have to say AOP is in their immediate future. I would honestly say I would definitely double down on that as well. I think we got one more pre-show matchup we can talk about here. Let me look in the notes here. No, that was it. So we had 3 pre-show matches that pretty much took up the 2 hours, and then we go to the actual pay-per-view card itself. Nice opening there by Terry Crews. I actually kind of briefly saw it online. I would have to say a couple of days ago, but I never did get a chance to click on it. And it was funny too, because I'm going, wait a minute, Terry Crews, WWE, like what the hell? And then I'm going, well, hey, that's actually pretty damn cool, because if you remember, and I'm surprised that WWE did not even try to capitalize on it. But I remember a long time ago, Terry Crews was taking little funny jabs online at the WWE because they had Apollo Crews, and Terry Crews had took shots at WWE saying, I'm so flattered. I think that's really cute how you guys are trying to have a little wrestler version of me there in your company. That's kind of cool, man. And man, you talk about missed opportunities. We got shoved down our throats. Jon Stewart popping up once again. I was so relieved that he actually did not do anything in any of the matches or whatever. But as far as a celebrity goes, I must admit that Terry Crews, that actually would have been very fun. It would have been nice to see something happen where Terry Crews crosses paths with Apollo Crews. I think something hilarious could have come about from that. Involved Titus in there as well, Titus O'Neil. And yeah, I think WWE kind of missed out on a great opportunity since he was willing to pretty much film some stuff for the SummerSlam opener and all that. We had saw Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins had defeated Dolph Ziggler to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Those guys actually had a pretty damn good match. I gotta tell you, a lot of us were looking at this matchup kind of wondering if it was going to be a scenario where Dean Ambrose was maybe going to turn on Seth Rollins. A lot of us were looking for it off the break there, and I'm actually glad it did not happen. I think, honestly, if you can milk it for all it's worth and stretch it out a little bit, kind of take us on a little bit of a magical carpet ride for several weeks, then yeah, go ahead and do it. Why blow the load right then and there off the break? But I know I'm not the only one that was looking at this matchup and kind of wondering what exactly is Dean going to be doing here. Is he going to be snapping and do something to Seth? What's going on? I was not sure what was going on with Seth Rollins' ring attire. Of all the ring attires tonight, because, SummerSlam, this is where the guys try to shine. Seth Rollins' ring gear, I just was, what's he trying to channel here? And for me, I live by an old philosophy. If I can't identify with what you're wearing, if I can't come to my own conclusion what you're wearing and somebody else has to tell me what you're wearing, it's not resonating well. It's not clicking for me. It's not registering. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, he's trying to be something, but what is it? And then we had pretty much Corey Graves say, Seth Rollins, blah, 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 Thanos. Oh, you're like, oh, okay, so he's doing Thanos-inspired ring gear. Okay, entrance and all that. Okay. Yeah, I got kind of see it now, but yeah, but that's my mentality. To each its own. But it's like if I'm looking and I got to look that hard and it's not clicking, that means you didn't really try hard enough. I mean, I don't know. Some of you guys might have been able to catch that bad boy a lot quicker, but for me, no, I wasn't seeing that. But, those guys actually had a really damn good matchup. Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler. Enjoyed that. It was about almost 25 minutes of a match. Nice, good back and forth that they did. And God, I'm telling you what though, man. Every time I look at Drew McIntyre just looks like a freaking beast. And I just continue to look at this guy and I just go, man, can we take him away from Dolph Ziggler already? I mean, look, they give me, being that little kid and everything growing up on the wrestling back in the day, they definitely are giving me that Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels vibe. I definitely, and I know a lot of other people been seeing that. I'm definitely seeing that, but I want to see Drew get pulled away from Ziggler so bad, because for Dolph Ziggler, it's just gotten to that point right now where you could honestly give two shits not about what Dolph Ziggler has to say. I'm still cringing off of that promo he did on Raw earlier this week. You people didn't care, and I'm just going, are you done? Are you done throwing a pity party for yourself already? Are you done pointing the finger at everybody else but yourself? I mean, and it was getting no reaction. That's the thing. That promo he was cutting, and we've heard that promo cut so many times by the best over the years, and they're able to get the reactions that they need, but nothing was going on for Dolph Ziggler. And, so for me, I look at a guy like Drew McIntyre, all the greatest potential in the world, and I just keep thinking of that damn classic song from back in the day, "Don't Bring Me Down," no, 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 don't bring me down. And that's just all I keep looking at when I see my man freaking Drew McIntyre. Interesting, as far as commentators go, we had the usual suspects. Jonathan Coachman decided he wanted to show up for a paycheck this weekend, so he was back in play. Coachman, for the most part, was okay, but I had a problem with his commentary during this matchup here. I actually had jotted some notes down. At one point during Ziggler versus Rollins, he had said something along the lines of, because Ziggler had gained the upper hand on Seth Rollins, he was focusing on one part of Rollins' body. I want to say maybe a leg or whatnot. And then at one point, Jonathan Coachman had said, "Oh man, there's some muscle fatigue that's going on right there. There's some mental fatigue that's going on there." And you had Michael Cole. He had to come in there and basically say, "Well, they're both going through the fatigue right now, Coach. It is a physical, grueling matchup. They both are going through the motions right now." And so you're kind of like, yeah, what the hell was Coach trying to say right there? But other than other, weird commentating spots of the night from Coachman, that really was the only one that kind of jumped out in my mind. If I missed something, let me know, guys. But I tell you what, there was a nice, sweet-ass spot where we saw a jumping spike DDT that was done by Dolph Ziggler to Seth Rollins over by the apron. God, that spot was freaking sick as hell. I love that spot, man. And then closing moments of that matchup, we saw Seth Rollins. He did a superplex from the top turnbuckle, but it was the way that he did the superplex. It wasn't your traditional superplex. I mean, pretty much Dolph Ziggler, is up on the top turnbuckle, and Seth Rollins, like, picture it like this. Just close your eyes and basically picture like Dolph Ziggler is up on the top rope, and maybe he's looking to do some type of a maneuver. Let's just say maybe he's looking for a flying elbow, right? But Seth Rollins gets up, fights him in the corner, and then pretty much like picks him up, and then basically Seth Rollins turns Dolph Ziggler's body, so it's his back that's facing Seth Rollins, and then he pretty much does like an inverted superplex like that. And it was basically almost like a hat trick he was looking for, because you're going, wait a minute, is he like trying to look for the Three Amigos here or something? Like, what's going on? But he turned that inverted superplex into a Falcon Arrow pin. Oh my God, it was a really great combo that he did. I loved it. Those spots were freaking killer, and I think you guys would agree. There were some really good spots in there. After that, later on, we saw a super kick attempt by both men. Finish to the match, we saw Seth Rollins connect with the curb stomp, and that's pretty much how he became the new Intercontinental Champion. So, really good matchup. Just keeping track so far, making a mental note of all the matches that we had got so far, including what came about from the pre-show matches. Honestly, when you get to the SmackDown tag team titles, that's pretty much where things kind of went a little bit sour. Yeah, I'm talking about the New Day, Big E, Xavier Woods. We saw them win via disqualification to the Bludgeon Brothers. Okay, tag team matchup. Pretty much, we saw one of the Bludgeon Brothers. They took a mallet and pretty much hit one of the members of the New Day with it, and the match pretty much was thrown out after that. So fans that were looking for New Day to maybe become the SmackDown Tag Champions once again, it did not happen, sadly, on this night. And, as far as I'm concerned, Look at it this way. Look at it this way. If you're not really feeling the Bludgeon Brothers, look at it this way. At least you know that with regards to SmackDown programming for the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a scenario come about where these two tag teams are going to continue to be involved in a feud, right? So maybe that could eventually set up the next time these guys clash, which is going to be at September's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event. And I have a feeling that's where everything is going to be going to. So, you know, for me personally, I don't really have a problem with that. But I must say it really feels as though that no matter how vocal some of us are with regards to how we feel about the Bludgeon Brothers, WWE is respectfully saying to us, no, 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 no. This is the course we're going to continue to take with these guys. We have it outlined. We know where we want to go with this team, and we're going to keep on going. Look, there's a part of me, look, when it's all said and done, and all cold-hearted honesty, I'm very happy that the Bludgeon Brothers are, more particularly, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan. I'm happy that they're in a position right now where, hey, they got to be part of SummerSlam weekend. Hey, that's great. They were actually on the pay-per-view card, and they actually were able to get in a good payday. So there's that part of me that's happy that they're getting the opportunities that they're able to get. And you know what? They're seizing the moments, right? But there is that part of me that's going, I need to see a little bit more than what we've been getting as of late. Because it's just not enough for me to really make me gravitate towards them. I'm still not fully behind the gimmick. I'm just not, and I don't know what more it could take. Is it maybe a situation where I need to see some type of a 4-star caliber performance from them? Maybe that's what's missing. Maybe it's that defining match that I'm looking for that the Bludgeon Brothers need. I don't know. Who knows? And yes, Phoenix in the chat, this person should have won, and this person should have won, and this should have happened, and this should have happened, and woulda, coulda, shoulda. I wish I should have gotten $1 million, right? You should have gotten a brand new car and crap, But, I mean, look, we're not here to piss and moan. We're here to make sense out of everything that had came about. That's it in a nutshell. Let's keep on going here. Let's talk about some more of this stuff that had went down. You guys enjoying the show so far? If you are, smash the hell out of the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button, especially on YouTube. We are on the road to 15,000 subscribers. Right now, we've got 11,500. Yeah, 11,500 subscribers. I want to see that increase by plus 4,000 by the time WrestleMania comes about. So let's see if we can do that. Smash them damn like buttons, man. Let's see what's going on here, man. Just a personal preference, personal gain I'd like to see go down. All right, let's continue on here, and let's talk about some more action that we had coming up here. What's our next matchup? So we talked about that DQ finish. According to my notes here, it looks like the next matchup we had was Kevin Owens taking on Braun Strowman. Yeah, this match was pretty much a squash match. And if you're a Kevin Owens fan, you're going, seriously, what the hell? Honestly, you can look at this a couple of ways. What the hell? Did Kevin Owens piss somebody off? And you have a little bit of sympathy towards Kevin Owens as well when you see how this match played about. I don't even think this match went 5 minutes when you separate all the entrances and all that. When you get right down to it, this is pretty much how the match, I'm summarizing, I BS you not, this is how the match actually went down. Tackle by Braun Strowman. Super kick by Kevin Owens. It didn't do a damn thing as Braun Strowman no-sold the hell out of that. Choke slam by Braun Strowman. Pump handle slam. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. So you see that spot, and for me, as soon as I saw this come about, I'm going, okay, well, you know what? This makes sense if Braun Strowman comes out later on in the night and he gets in the face of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and says, hey, one of you guys, I'm coming after you as soon as the match is over, or hey, I'm putting myself in this match. We're going to make this be a triple threat match. So, what, one of you guys, or both of y'all, gonna get these hands. So, stop faking, and let's get it on already. So, for me, I'm looking at that, and I'm going, that's the only thing that realistically makes sense. Because if it doesn't end with Braun Strowman doing something like that, then how the hell do you explain such a squash like that? It doesn't really make any sense. What I personally would have loved to have seen a bit more from Kevin Owens, I wish it could have been a situation where maybe Braun Strowman would have came out first, and then as he's making his way to the ring, we could have seen Kevin Owens attack Braun Strowman from behind, and he's just doing a serious number on him. And you're going, oh my God, like, seriously, is this possibly how it's going to end for Braun Strowman? Is this how he's possibly going to be losing his Money in the Bank briefcase? Like, guy didn't even get a fair freaking shot. What the hell? And if it just would have operated like that for several minutes, and then finally the action goes into the ring, KO tells the ref, ring the bell, let's go ahead, let's do this already. And then he does a super kick, goes for the cover, Braun kicks out. It's like, oh my God, there's still life in the monster among men. What the hell? If you could have done it like that and stretched it out just a little bit longer, I think that would have made all the sense in the world. And the fact that they didn't really book it smart like that. I mean, understand something. I have no problem with the fact that Braun Strowman won. I have a problem with the fact that it was just such a squash match like that. You're going, okay, take a step back. Okay, how did that really help Kevin Owens? Exactly. It really didn't. And that's where you're kind of scratching your head wondering what the hell. Next matchup. Let's go there. Yeah, am I reading this right? Triple threat for the SmackDown Women's title? I believe I'm reading this right. Let me look at the actual pay-per-view card here. Make sure I'm reading this right. Yeah, we're blazing through this so far. All right, that's good. Yeah, our next matchup, it was the triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship between Charlotte, Carmella, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair becoming your SmackDown Women's Champion once again. Look, man, look. And I get everybody that was so upset with the fact that Becky Lynch did not get it. And look, I'm not mocking any of you guys that's out there, but the way some of you guys were spilling this out on social media, I must say it was really funny. It was, oh man, what the hell, man? Why won't they give Becky Lynch a chance, man? What the hell? What's wrong with WWE? Stupid company? Why are they smoking? They never do anything right. And, again, not making fun of you guys, but that's how a lot of you guys were talking with regards to Becky Lynch. Now, here's where it makes sense from a booking and a writing standpoint. Becky Lynch has been this underdog for so long. She has fought, she has clawed, she has fought her way. She has to fight for her scraps. All right? When she's hungry, she can't do like everybody else. And no. She, storyline wise, she has to, go through hurdles to get hers. So finally, she's in this position. And I love this because when it played out the way that it played out tonight, just from a writing and booking standpoint, I couldn't help but take a step back and goes, holy crap, I get it now. I get it. And I got it right before Becky snapped. Like, as soon as it went to Charlotte, I got it. Before anything else happened, as soon as Charlotte won, I understood where they were going, and I was like, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. So you have Becky Lynch, storyline wise, she has to fight for hers. So she's finally in this position where, hey, I earned the opportunity to face Carmella for the SmackDown Women's title, one-on-one. And everybody's like, oh, man, yeah, Carmella's going to have her moment, man. Yeah, all right, finally. Yeah, get that belt off of. And by the way, out of the 3 women, one could not even get love in her so-called home city. I mean, she got booed and people didn't really give 2 shits about her. I'm talking about Carmella. That just spoke so much loud volumes that it wasn't even funny. It wasn't. Not telling you guys anything different that you don't already know. We can all be in agreement that Carmella, meh. Now let's keep it moving along. But Becky Lynch, storyline wise, gets the opportunity to go one-on-one with the champion. Meanwhile, you have Charlotte comes back from injury and all that. She comes back to the scene. Boom, she gets inserted into the mix, and long story short, it becomes a triple threat. So now the odds of Becky coming out of there with the championship has decreased dramatically, right? As freaking, I think it was it David Otunga or was it Sam Roberts? One of them was like 33.33% chance. You're like, yeah, dude, you got that right. That's actually right. Look, for me, to see how the match had played out was beautiful. It was so fucking beautiful to hear the fans turn on Charlotte. I loved that. I ate that up tremendously because, yes, it's gotten to that point now where no. Charlotte does not need the women's championship. Charlotte is just in an elite category of her own. She just needs to go out there and she can hang with the best of them. The championship does not define her, okay? She does not define the championship, right? So she doesn't need it. So when you're looking at this match, you're going, well, damn, it's got to be Becky Lynch's time, or somehow Carmella is going to slither away with the title. But then when you see Charlotte win the title, you're smelling this a mile away, which is, right crowd. If there was ever a moment to have Becky Lynch snap, be a bad sport, but it's justified, yeah, this would be the town to do it. And to see Becky Lynch snap on Charlotte, hugging it out, raising her hand, and the fans just booing the hell out of that, and then finally she just attacked. You know what? I commend WWE for pulling that move. They knew how that crowd was going to be operating. And when you really stop and you think about it, what's the one thing that WWE is notorious for? What are they notorious for? Oh, you want this bottle of alcohol, huh? It'll quench your thirst, won't it? Yeah, because you've been walking in the desert for, God, at least about 30 minutes, right? So you've worked yourself up a thirst. You need it quenched really bad, yeah? Yeah, I can only imagine. Well, look, you can have this bottle of beer, just not right now. No. I'm going to make you work a little bit more harder to get that bottle of beer. I'm going to string you along a little bit more. You'll get it eventually, but I want to tease you a little bit. That's exactly how WWE basically did Becky Lynch fans tonight, right? And you got to commend them for that, because obviously they're hearing the fans. They've been hearing the fans. And the fact that they were able to get the reactions that they were able to get. I mean, when you just think about Becky Lynch's entire run in the WWE, and I'm just thinking off of crowd reactions and all that and how people were feeling about her online, this was probably like the biggest pop that she's had, almost like her entire run in the company. So, I mean, that speaks large volumes as far as I'm concerned. And also look at it this way: good friends, best friends, make better enemies. And anybody that has taken the time out to read Charlotte's book, which I have, it was a great read, talks a lot about her friendship with Becky Lynch and all that, you know, as well as a few others, but she homes in on Becky Lynch a lot. And so for me personally, I know they're going to have a lot of fun. And I say to you guys, I would implore you guys that are just, oh man, no, 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 no. I've always lived by this motto, and longtime listeners know this motto: the chase is better than the catch. So just take a step back. Enjoy what you're going to be getting from Charlotte and Becky Lynch for these next couple of months, because it's going to be a fun ride. Just enjoy it. Becky will have her time in the sun, but you're going to have to wait for it a little bit longer. You just are, you know. And I see the comment in the chat with regards to Asuka, great wrestler, character. You know, yeah, we talked about that the other night. I was on this same show and I basically said it sucks because the most simplistic storyline that you could have done was Asuka taking on Charlotte, basically a WrestleMania rematch. Charlotte looking for redemption because she still has the chip on her shoulder from Charlotte giving her that first loss in her career, right? Since she's been in the WWE. And you actually can still go back to that if you want to, maybe in time for the Survivor Series or maybe going into the Evolution pay-per-view event. It just really depends. But, you know, my hat's off to all the girls. They actually did a decent job tonight. You know, I kind of felt bad a little bit for, what's her name? Carmella. But it just really has not been clicking. The experiment was cute. But, you know, it's time to move on. It's time to move on to some bigger and better things. And I just honestly feel that as a champion at this juncture of her career, she ran her course. Now, those that can't stand Carmella to the point they want to see her get fired, that's not happening. Sadly, that's just not happening. I don't see it happening. There would be a lot of other people that's going to be released first before Carmella gets a pink slip. So we could dream on for that one, but I'm not seeing that happening anytime soon. You know, she's coming along, but she still has ways to go. But I tell you what, she's been learning a lot on the fly. She's showing me that she is continuing to grow overall as a performer. Who knows? Maybe in about 5-6 months from now, we'll see where she is. Maybe she can get another run as the champ. Go to our next matchup here. And let's see what's coming about. We have Samoa Joe, favorite match of the night. Samoa Joe defeated AJ Styles via disqualification. It was the singles match for the WWE Championship. Loved it, man. Loved it. Oh my God, to have Wendy, AJ Styles' wife, and one of the kids out there. Samoa Joe talking hot trash. Oh, Wendy, you're in the house tonight. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Hey, yeah, I don't think your man's going to be coming home tonight, but if he does, it's going to be without the WWE Championship. Yeah, I'll be doing you a favor, you know. So, yeah, just hang tight. I love the mind games that has been going on with this particular rivalry, and it put a big-ass smile on my face personally to see when this match was about to begin, the fans chanting TNA. I'm going, you're damn right. You're damn right, TNA, because you're looking at two of the very best that had represented TNA. A company, by the way, that is no more. Yeah, I think it's so funny because everybody, oh, well, TNA is like, TNA's no more. Now it's just Impact Wrestling. Now it's just Anthem Sports, Anthem Entertainment, Anthem Sports Entertainment, Impact Wrestling. You know, TNA is long gone. But when you think back on TNA, yeah, hands down, those two were the faces. They were the faces for that company for many years. Isn't it? And didn't it feel so surreal that here we are in 2018 and on one of the biggest pay-per-view events of them all, known as SummerSlam, we're seeing two of the very best face off against each other, tearing it up in other promotions. Here they are in the WWE, looking, in their separate corners, looking across at each other. I would love to just hear commentary on that, like a couple of months later, just, really appreciating the journey up to that point that we saw tonight. Because, I mean, that just, and I tell you what, man, I only watched bits and pieces of it. I watched the WWE Chronicles special on Samoa Joe, and I would encourage you guys, if you all did not watch that yet, check it out. Now, I'm not sure if it's on the WWE Network. I would think it is, but if it's not, where I saw it first was on WWE's YouTube channel, and it's about 45 minutes. WWE decided, we're not going to put any ad breaks in here. Now, maybe that's changed now, but at the time that I watched it, there was no ad breaks whatsoever. 45 minutes, riveting. I watched like the first 10 minutes, and actually I'm going to watch the rest of it. Because it just hooks you in. And Samoa Joe had talked about one of the first conversations that he had with Triple H. And Triple H was like, look, I think we would do really great business together. You come in here in the WWE, especially coming over here through NXT and everything, eventually could definitely see you come up on the main roster. But, one thing I should tell you off the break, the odds of you being a champion, Vince McMahon doesn't particularly care for giving a title to older men such as yourself. And I forget the names of the people. I want to say Joey Mercury was one of the guys. I can't remember who the other guy was that was in the conference with him as Triple H was laying it out. But Samoa Joe looked at the other two guys and he had a smile on his face like, he just don't know. And pretty much I stopped watching after that. And I was like, but when you're watching it those first several minutes, you're just going, damn, he would be a damn good champion, whether it's the Universal or it's the WWE champion. He would be one damn good champion, wouldn't he? And my whole thing is, can he just stay healthy long enough? I mean, all these years that he's been at it, it's finally starting to take its toll on his body. And if ever a time for smart rehabbing and all that, you got to be more smarter with your body, right? And he's gotten a little bit more smarter in the ring. I'll definitely give him a lot of credit for that. But I love the psychology that led up to these two guys fighting tonight, and just the ring psychology that was going on during this match. Just continuing to push the buttons of AJ Styles. And great technical match. I mean, on the one hand, it was a great blend too, because on the one hand, you got AJ, who's like, I'm just going to be quick on my feet. I'm going to use my speed. I'm going to use my kicks. I'm going to use my hands. He was coming at him with the strike game, with the tech game. Samoa Joe, he's a good tech dude himself. And Joe, not only does Joe counter on the tech, but he also counters with powerhouse moves, right? Since he's a heavyweight, and you're going, damn, AJ just ain't got nothing on Samoa Joe right there. Like, how is he going to counter that? And I tell you what, I love the closing moments of that matchup. We basically, if I remember it right, we saw a scenario come down where Joe, he's worked a pretty good game. Pretty good number on AJ Styles, and he actually grabs a microphone and he says to Wendy, hey, it looks like, Wendy, your daddy won't be coming home tonight, but don't worry, after tonight I'll be your new daddy. And the fans just started chanting, who's your daddy? And you're going, damn. It's like, this crowd is so goddamn vicious. What the hell is up with you guys? I loved it. I ate it up. And as soon as they were chanting, who's your daddy? I want you guys to look this up. It's on YouTube. as soon as I saw this, it reminded me of a skit from I can't think of the radio show, but it's like a 40, 50-second clip of Donald Duck. He's this great comedian. He does a great spot on impersonation of Donald Duck. And he's going, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? It's very explicit. But I promise you, if you've never listened to it before and you listen to it, you will just die in hysteria. You'll be in tears when you hear the audio. And I was reminded so much of that audio as soon as the fans just were like, who's your daddy? And yeah, Donald Duck, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? It was great, though. It was great. I didn't have a problem with this match ending. Hang on a second, guys. I'm sorry. My dog is barking. Maggie, be quiet. I slammed the table down a little bit too hard, so that kind of got her wound up a little bit. Oh, God. Maggie, be quiet. I tell you. I'm about to break the fourth wall. I'm about to get up and I'm about to go yell at this this little heifer if she don't be quiet. Okay. Breaking up my concentration. I had no problem with this match ending in a DQ because when you look at the psychological games that Samoa Joe has been playing on AJ Styles these past couple of weeks, and how everything just culminated to that spot I had mentioned, and AJ mustering up that last little bit of energy like, no, you didn't. Like, you're not going to disrespect my wife in front of me and disrespect my kid. Oh, hell no. And he just charged at freaking Samoa Joe. They both went crashing through the announcer's table, on through some chairs, wall barrier, and all that. We then see AJ Styles grabs a freaking steel chair and he just starts wailing on Samoa Joe with it, and you're going, oh, that was perfect. And then insult to injury, to see AJ Styles bleeding. I mean, he wasn't bleeding profusely, but at some point, one of the spots between these two, it went wrong because he's bleeding. Because at one point, we do see the ref, he's actually putting some gloves on, and he's like, let me just evaluate, continue to see what's going on. I love that psychological warfare that Samoa Joe hit AJ up with and made him snap just like that. And the match is over, and AJ realizes, oh my God, I acted like such a savage. I acted like such a brute in front of my wife and kid. What the hell? And to see AJ go on over to his family, and the wife is basically saying to him, you went too far, hun. You went too far. And AJ's like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I don't know if you guys heard what the daughter said, but he actually tries to comfort his daughter, and he picks her up and tries to bring her over to him. And she goes, Daddy, you're bleeding. That's what she actually says to him. She says, Daddy, you're bleeding. And she just has this look on her face like, I really don't want to be near you right now. You scaring the hell out of me. I want to go back to mommy. That's literally how she was acting. Kid probably was like maybe 5, maybe 4 or whatever. And so AJ, feeling that vibe, gives the daughter back to the wife. And now that's the only thing. I don't really know if I would have done it like that and had it end in the way that it did, where AJ takes the wife and the kid from the fan section area and he's basically walking with them toward. I don't know if I would have done that. I think if I would have been booking that, what I actually would have done instead, I would have had the wife say to AJ, AJ, how could you? You're supposed to be a good Christian family man. What you did was so barbaric. How could you, in front of our own daughter, AJ, what the heck, And AJ could have just kept apologizing, and maybe it could have been a situation where he tried to comfort his daughter, say, hey, is she okay? And she just could have had a nice, good arm grip on the back of the kid's head, saying, no, you scared her. She doesn't want to talk to you right now. We're leaving. We're done here, AJ. No, AJ, don't talk to us. No, we're done. And then if you just could have had him kind of like chase after them afterwards, I think that would have made a little bit more sense, because there's a WWE.com exclusive piece of video footage that's floating around right now, and it shows AJ with the wife and the kid, and he's basically apologizing for what all had happened, and you're kind of going, whatever. But overall, still really good psychology. I must admit, I loved it. Now, when you're thinking about the next couple of weeks of WWE programming, you're going, well, look, Samoa Joe, he can now come out there and say to Paige and everybody else, hey, look, because I had AJ right where I had him, and he did what he did. Look, he took a steel chair on me. He took the coward's way out to keep his precious WWE title a little longer. What are we going to do to rectify that, right? So I think, honestly, what could possibly happen, just throwing it out there, I think it's very well possible that AJ Styles and Samoa Joe could be feuding for the WWE Championship inside Hell in a Cell. I believe it could be Hell in a Cell. Now, don't ask me who could come out of there on top. I can't really say. But that's the vibe I'm kind of getting right now. But I tell you what, just following up on a recent interview that AJ Styles gave, he talked about one of the defining moments, and I won't spoil it for you guys, but he talked about one of the defining moments that made Vince McMahon go, okay, you won me over. And there was one part that AJ mentioned where Vince McMahon had pulled him to the side one night, and he said, come with me, let's go talk. He goes, hey, look, what you did out there and everything, that's all good, but I didn't bring you in here to do that. I got a bunch of other people that can do that. What I need is a pit bull. What I need is somebody that's vicious. And AJ was like, well, I'm just getting started. You haven't even seen what I'm capable of doing. That's what you want. I can definitely give you that. And so it was all about proving to Vince McMahon, hey, I've got that killer pit bull mentality. And I like what we had got tonight. Because what we got tonight was a little bit of that pit bull mentality. A little bit of that mean streak from AJ. So I hope everything does culminate eventually in a Hell in a Cell match. We'll wait and see. We'll see how it comes about. Go on, talk about our next matchup. Only got a couple more matches to go into, and then we'll open up the phone line. So for those of you that want to call into the show and tell me what you have thought about the SummerSlam pay-per-view event, you'll be able to do that. See, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 more matches to talk about. Let's go. Didn't Elias get in there? Elias got in there at some point. Let me look at my notes real quick. Yeah, Elias was after this. Much like his failed New York City show that he was supposed to appear at. We'll talk about that on Tuesday's show. But there was a concert he was supposed to do in New York. Sadly, the tickets did not sell enough. I understand that the ticket prices were a bit expensive. Not to mention it was last minute and there just was not enough time to sell X amount of tickets. So as a result, WWE had decided they were going to cancel this concert that Elias was supposed to be doing. Yeah, much like the canceled concert that Elias was supposed to do, a session that Elias was supposed to do in the middle of the ring went bust. He was getting ready to play his guitar, and the SOB just came apart. And I tell you what, I love moments when we get something like that, because you're going, wait a minute, is this part of the show? Or are we watching somebody just freestyle here and they're doing the best that they can? Just what exactly? I love when the line begins to blur and you're really not sure what to make out of what you're seeing. So I thought it was pretty hilarious. I'm going, okay, well, maybe this is going to be a situation where Bobby Lashley comes out, right? Maybe he's going to interrupt Elias once again. And, well, how can you have freaking Bobby Lashley come out when maybe the focal point was for Elias to play the guitar, sing a little something, bash Bobby Lashley, and then that kind of brings him out that way. But yeah, no, it didn't happen. But I love when the suspension of disbelief is really enhanced like it was with Elias. I was actually pretty happy that we got the cameo from him tonight. Next matchup, let's go. We had the Miz take on Daniel Bryan. It was a good match. Really, I'm not trying to be a dick, but for me, it just, and maybe that's just the way the match was booked, but it felt more like Miz was trying to wrestle like Daniel Bryan, whereas just wrestle like the Miz normally does. That's just honestly how it kind of felt to me. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match, but there were so many points. And I don't mean the trademark kicks and throwing up the hand gestures. I just mean overall. It just really came off like Miz was trying his best to wrestle like Daniel Bryan. And I didn't really find that too comforting. I wasn't really cool with that. Despite that, I was able to put that to the side and just say, well, let me just judge this match for what it was worth. And, these two actually had a really good match. Closing moments of this one. This was another fuck finish. We actually saw at one point Miz come on over to Maurice, who was in attendance, had the baby, supposedly, with her. And Maurice gives Miz a pair of brass knuckles. And cut to the chase, he pretty much had used that without the referee. The way he went about the knuckles was pretty damn clever. I mean, even when you go back and you watch the replay and you see Maurice, you're like, okay, well, did she put something in his hand? Like, what the hell's going on? You can't really see. You can't really tell. But long story short, Miz pretty much knocking out cold Daniel Bryan with a pair of brass knucks. Got the 1, 2, 3 on him that way. And that's pretty much it. I actually was fine with this. And it's funny, too. I did not think WWE was going to go this route because I talked about it when I was offering predictions. I said, you know what? He's got the Miz and Maurice show that's rolling right now. It's getting him, million plus viewers each episode, got renewed for another season. It makes a lot of sense to give him the win. Hook or by crook was my message. Didn't matter. As long as he got the win, the bragging rights, you could continue to expand upon the feud that way. And the fact that they went this route, I loved it. Duh, these guys aren't done by a long shot. So that's awesome. And last I had read, because Daniel Bryan's been given a couple of interviews, you're the first person, Border, you're the first person that's talking about my audio being way too loud. Is anybody else experiencing that same issue as far as the audio being way too loud? Because normally the audio is on the same setting, and I purposely had turned the volume down lower for you guys before I did the stream here tonight. So if we could get a couple of more people in the chat to maybe confirm, or maybe it's just eBorder, but eBorder feels that the volume is a bit too low. Let me know what you guys think in the chat room there, and I'm actually reading what you guys are saying right now. Oh, way too low? How can the volume be way too low? Let me hear what you guys are hearing right now. I'm sorry, guys. You guys got to bear with me a second here. Let me hear what you guys are hearing here. Order feels that the volume is a bit too low. Let me know what you guys think in the chat room there.
Let's
and I'm
see
actually
what we got
reading
here.
what you guys are saying right now. Yeah. eBorder, I think it's your respected device that's the issue, because I've been streaming the way I've been streaming. I got a mixer, professional microphone, and all that, and that's never been an issue before. So I think you might want to check your settings. Yeah. Anytime I've got, because the people that we have in the chat, these are typically good, solid people that always check out all the streams. And they can tell you if there's any problems with audio and all that. They are like the first ones to say something. So, yeah. Well, that's the thing. E-Border, I didn't do anything. I didn't touch the volume at all. So again, I think it's an issue with you, my friend. Check your settings. Anyway, we were talking about Miz and Daniel Bryan. See, if I talk this low, this is me purposely talking very low, then you don't know what the hell I'm saying. And if I talk even more lower like this, you damn sure don't know what the hell I'm saying. But if I talk like this, you'll definitely be able to. Reigning, defending, WWE Undisputed Champ. You know, if I talk like that, then it's a little bit too loud. But no, you know, last I had read, because Daniel Bryan's been making his rounds, giving out the interviews and all that, the question was brought up about has he signed a contract with the WWE, and he said that for the most part they've got a lot of not perks, but there's a couple of things that they had to squash that he feels are pretty negotiable, that they should be able to work around, and that he's 90% certain at this point that he will be signing a new contract. But like as it stands right now, until he reveals otherwise, they just have a handshake type of deal that's going on until he actually gets this new contract. So I'm curious how things are going to be playing out for Daniel Bryan for like the rest of this year, because with Daniel Bryan being a family man, and I can't stress it enough, when you read his Yes book, one thing that you really learn from reading that Yes book is just how heartbroken he felt that he really was not able to spend enough time with the family. And not to spoil it for you guys that have not read the book yet, but just the way that the book ends, you feel really sad for Daniel. And keeping that sadness in mind, you're really, really left with the impression after you get done reading that book that now more than ever, family first. So for those of you that passionately would love to see Daniel Bryan be a WWE champion again, I'm just not seeing that happening. Sadly, I would love to. I'm with you guys. I would love to see another run. I would be surprised if Daniel Bryan has another run as a WWE champion, be it for SmackDown or for Raw. I'd be surprised to see it. I would definitely welcome it, but I just don't think it's going to be happening, sadly. Just given where he is right now. I promise you, if you haven't read the Yes book, read it. And I promise you, by the time you read it, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying, and you'll agree. But, you know, I can't wait to see Miz and Daniel Bryan lock it up again. Bella Twins were actually in the house tonight, putting over all their stuff that's going to be coming soon to television near you. Hey, I know we got people that care about total Bellas and all that. That's about as much as I can get into with the whole Bellas. I'll talk a little bit more about them in a little bit, because I have to talk about them more because of a certain spot that came about. Finn Balor, or I should say Demon Balor, best entrance of the night too. Definitely goes to Demon Balor. Demon Balor squashing the hell out of Baron Corbin in a minute, 35 seconds. You know, it's so funny because you have freaking Baron Corbin. I'm going, hey, SummerSlam, Baron Corbin's gonna come out. Hey, yo, check out my new in-ring gear. I got the nice knee pads going on here. You know, look at my elbow pads. Look at my elbow pads. Velcro, baby. Velcro. Haha, yeah. And take a look at my vest. You seen my vest? It's got the nice wolf. It's got a nice embossed wolf on the back. Some think it's an Alaskan Husky, but it's a wolf. Why my Baron Corbin is kind of sounding like somebody from New Jersey, I don't know. But work with me, people. Work with me. I got the nice wolf on the back of my jersey, okay? I got these nice, good, licorice, kind of kiss style type of leather pants, right? I've got these nice boots. Yeah, I got my nice, good in-ring gear on here. Look at me here. Ain't I cool, man? Don't I look cool? I was ready to see Baron Corbin in new in-ring gear, but instead I continue to get valet parking Corbin, Olive Garden Corbin. You know, I'm just looking at him and I'm going, on the grandest stage of them all, for one freaking night, you can't wear in-ring gear? Like, seriously? It's okay if you want to hide the body. I don't care, right? Put on a damn black turtleneck long sleeve for all I care and wear a badass vest or whatever. Just wear something cool. Don't wear your valet outfit. And he comes out with the valet outfit. Meanwhile, Baron Corbin is just waiting patiently, licking his chops, thinking he's going to get him another W off of Finn Balor. Nah, he gets introduced to Demon Balor. I can't believe we hadn't seen Demon Balor in almost a year. I mean, seriously, almost a year we have not seen Demon Balor. But I loved it. He had the best entrance for SummerSlam. And that's saying a lot, because it's not really that hard to have the best entrance at SummerSlam when the budget cuts, you know, for the pyros and all that other jazz is cut dramatically, and all you basically have is a guy that comes out utilizing really great lighting, smoke, and cool makeup, and flickering of the lights. You know, that's not really that expensive, and that's actually inexpensive. So to have him, you know, come out, I ate it up. I'm not crapping on it. I mean, it was nice. It was a great entrance. And, you know, I kind of agree with a lot of people. It's great when we see Demon Balor occasionally. You got to continue to do it so random. Because, see, it got to that point when it came to the NXT TakeOver events. Oh, man, Finn Balor's going to come out as Demon. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be great. And then you actually had several pay-per-views when he got called up on the main roster. Oh, pay-per-view time. All right, Finn Balor's going to come out as the Demon. I actually don't mind WWE operating sporadically now. They're going to do it as they see fit. I still feel, though, in my heart of hearts, that Demon Balor should have been a split personality. I've talked so passionately about that whole split personality time and time again on this show, but WWE is going in its own little different direction. I actually saw, you'd be surprised, there were actually some people that were complaining about Demon Balor appearing tonight. You had people that were going, this doesn't make sense. Why is Demon Balor showing up? Like, what the hell? No, if you stop and you think about it, Baron Corbin has been screwing with Finn Balor week after week after week. Even if Finn Balor picks up a W, Baron Corbin continues to stick it to him. And it just got to the point, don't push me to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Okay, that's basically what was going on with Finn Balor. He got pushed to the edge one too many times, and he went over that edge finally, and he just said, okay, you know what? I'm going to dig into my old bag of tricks. I'm going to dig into my psychological warfare games, and I'm going to bust out the Demon. So I actually had no problem with the way that the Demon actually was brought back. And I just feel that as long as you don't spam the hell out of the Demon, you could let 3 months go by for all I care, and then afterwards don't see Demon again until WrestleMania, right? I don't care. As long as you make it come off like a special treat, I'm so down. And I can't believe it's almost been a year since the Demon persona has actually come about. That's amazing. Seriously, that's seriously amazing. All right, next matchup. Let's go. We got a couple of more. Nakamura taking on Jeff Hardy. Nakamura defeating Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship. Actually, that was it's a nice little match. You know, it was okay. It was a cute little match. That's really the nice way I can phrase that. That's no diss. That's no shade. It's just a nice, cute little match. On a serious tip, though, the spot that Jeff Hardy did, where it was a swanton bomb from the top turnbuckle, I want to say, and he was trying to land on Shinsuke, who was laid out on the apron, but Nakamura moves, and Jeff Hardy goes like back first onto that apron. I couldn't help but cringe looking at that because I'm just looking at that spot and I'm going, Jeff, how old are you now, buddy? Wait a minute, buddy. You're going through some serious physical pain right now, right? You need some serious physical therapy. You right? You need to be doing some serious rehabbing on that body, and you want to do that spot. I mean, he's been giving out recent interviews saying his body's pretty banged up and all that, and he needs to rest up. And, you're going, damn, sorry to hear that. But, like, I mean, he has my respect, and I give him credit because it's like, hey, he's doing it on one of the most important pay-per-view events out of the year for the WWE. But I just can't help but go, yeah, but dudes, was that spot really necessary? Did we really need to see him do that? And for me, the answer was just no. I wish there could have been some other way that they could have got around that. You still could have had a very good, entertaining matchup, and he would have been all right. Now look, I'm glad that nothing severe, no freak accident came as a result of that spot that he did, but I just couldn't look at that match the same way again after Jeff Hardy did that spot. I don't know how it was for you guys, but for me personally, after I saw that spot, I just was going, is Jeff okay? Like, seriously, is he all right? Is he going to be able to continue on? And then I'm going, okay, well, he may be all right here, but will he be all right next time we see him? So it just rubbed me the wrong way. It really, really did. And it was hard for me to get back into the matchup. There was a cameo by Will You Please Shake My Hands? Shake one of my hands. Mr. Randy Orton. Hey, will you shake my hand? You guys that don't get it, there's a story running around on Randy Orton. Apparently, he used to take his hands and he would put them in his trunks and he would just massage the hell out of that member of his and get a little bit of that funk on it, and he would try to force the new writers to shake his hand. And if they refused to shake his hand, he threatened them by saying, oh, you don't want to shake Randy Orton's hand? Does Randy Orton have to go talk to Stephanie, Vince, or Triple H and tell them how you're not being a team player? So Mr. Shake My Hand, Randy Orton, he didn't do anything. He just came out, and it looked as though maybe he was getting ready to come into the ring, and who knows, maybe he was going to give an RKO to Shinsuke and or Jeff Hardy, but he got midway down the ramp, turned right back around, went backstage. One of the most awkwardest moments I've seen in a long damn time, I must say. Long damn time. Going to our next matchup. It was a nice little match, though. Ronda Rousey defeating Alexa Bliss in about less than 4 minutes to become your new Raw Women's Champion. Pretty much sum this matchup in a nutshell. Got to pull a quote from Chris Jericho. Arm drag! Move number 101. Arm drag! Move number 310. Arm drag! Move number 189, modified arm drag. Just now there was a submission hold in there, but pretty much it was arm drags, judo throws. Boy, but I tell you, that one visual when Ronda Rousey had applied that arm lock, oh my God, I cream my pants just looking at Alexa Bliss, and I know she can just do that to her arm at will. One of my best friends is able to do that with his arm. It's really freaking creepy as hell. Sometimes me and him, we used to run a little scam on people, and I BS you that when we were teenagers, sometimes what he would do is he would pretend that he had got like hit by a car or whatever. So he would time it just right. He'd see a car coming, and then he'd be like, "Hey Lee, toss me the football. I'm gonna do my thing." I'm like, "Okay." So, he would be waiting, and I toss him the football. Next thing you know, he pretends that, oh my God, he gets hit by a car. Now, the way he would do it, he would literally just throw his body on a car that's coming by or whatever. One-way street, mind you, one-way street. So traffic's pretty slow on the one-way street that we grew up on. And so when the driver gets out of the car, oh my God, are you okay? And he would just have his arm just all, bent out of shape and shit. And the person would just be freaking the hell out. And it'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And, he'd be like, oh, it's okay. You got insurance or anything? Your car looks pretty bad. And apparently one of his parents knew about this whole, and long story short, they used to swindle the hell out of some people for money with that spot. And it was awesome. I would just be laughing my ass off going, I can't believe that people are suckers for that spot. I'm like, hey, they're gullible. What can you say? I was like, well, you're making a killing. I was like, you keep that up. I lost contact with him many, many, many years ago. But he used to run hustles like that. I mean, you want to talk about your Saul Goodman from Better Call Saul. He was definitely a shady, slick son of a bitch back in his day. But, dude, to see that freaking visual that Ronda had applied on that arm, I freaking enjoyed the hell out of that. I love that spot tremendously. Remember I talked about the Bellas? Bellas come out. They're actually watching this match at ringside, and you're kind of cringing a little bit because you're going, well, hopefully the Bella Twins don't do anything. They don't jump frickin' Ronda and cause her a shot at becoming the Raw Women's Champion. Natty actually had made an appearance. It was great seeing her come out. She actually, before Alexa Bliss and Ronda came out, she actually came out before them, and she was wearing her dad's jacket. And as Michael Cole had pointed out, I want to make sure I kind of heard it right, because at this point I was starting to get ready for the show. That was her dad, Jim the Anvil Neidhart's jacket, but I'm trying to remember the occasion, guys. I believe Michael Cole said something along the lines of, that's the jacket from the very first time that he and Bret Hart had won the WWF tag titles. Did I hear that right, guys? Let me know in the chat. Just want to make sure I have that information correct. But it was really nice seeing her. I thought maybe she was going to say something on color commentary or whatever, but apparently she didn't. She just, came out, and I think that was a nice way for us to really say, hey, Natty, we're definitely thinking of you. You got our thoughts and prayers with you. That was a nice little touching spot that we had saw. And so after Ronda Rousey won, we see the Bella Twins. They get in there. SummerSlam 1990. Thank you, guys. And SummerSlam 1990, for those of you listening, that apparently was the occasion where Jim the Anvil Neidhart, SummerSlam 1990. Okay. So we see the Bella Twins. They get in the ring, and they're throwing up Ronda's arm, and you're kind of going, wait for it, something's coming. Nothing happens. But the fans in attendance booed the hell out of the Bella Twins, because it was kind of like, wait a minute, no, this is Ronda's moment. Why are you girls even, like, what the hell? And I must say, that was just so cringe-worthy to see the Bella Twins in the same ring, sharing the same spotlight with Ronda. I did not like that at all. At all, on so many levels, because I'm going, wait a minute. The caliber of talent that Ronda Rousey is, the caliber of talent that Ronda is as a previous MMA fighter, the caliber of talent that she is right now currently as a WWE superstar, is better than the two of you girls. So why, what makes you think that you all are equal to Ronda? Like, no. I didn't like it. It felt very forced. I didn't like it. It was very forced upon. I know I just said that, but it was really forced upon. And I fucking cringed at that shit. I'm like, no, you girls have no business being in this ring. If anybody had any business, and I was glad Natty was in the ring, but if anybody had any business being in the ring with frickin' Ronda Rousey, it should have been Natty. Ronda Rousey should have been there as well. I'm sorry, I got a brain fart. You guys got to forgive me. Getting a little sidebar here. No, Natty should have been in there for sure. Nia Jax should have been with Ronda Rousey as well. Just going over the rest of the roster in my car, that would have sufficed. To see the Bella Twins in there, it's just... Okay, so if you're not attacking Ronda, what's this really about? And we've got the rumblings that Nikki Bella is the one that came up with the whole WWE Evolution's pay-per-view idea. And rumblings have it that Nikki Bella is potentially going to be having a match against Ronda Rousey at that pay-per-view event. And, like, technically, you could kind of say that this was WWE kind of putting a subliminal message out there that you could be seeing one of those Bellas, Nikki, take on Ronda Rousey. I don't care if it's for a title or not. I don't want to see Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey. That match has no business happening whatsoever. I don't care to see that. You know, and I hope the rumors that's out there, I hope that it's false. Because the rumblings are that Nikki's going to get the main event spot at the Evolution pay-per-view, since she's the one that came up with the whole concept. And it's supposed to be against Ronda. I hope that intel is wrong on so many levels. But, you know, look, I know the Bella Twins have their fans. And trust me, I've had my fair share of getting into online social scuffles with people. I say my piece, and Bella fans out of the woodworks just, you're mean, you're a dick. How can you say that about the Bella Twins? Blah, 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 yakety smackety. But me personally... Nothing personal. It's like, but I don't particularly care for them. When I think about contributions that they have made to the women's division, yeah, sorry, on my list, they're barely on the damn list. They're barely on the damn list. They're like, you know, if I were to make a top 100 or 500 or 1,000, you know, they're like 1,003 and 1,002. They're not even on the list. They're just kind of like barely an honorable mention. All right, there's so many more people I would go to. I would. And I think when you really just get down to the heart of the matter, and this is the sad part, because there's a soft spot that I have for Brie Bella. I legitimately do have a soft spot for Brie. And I think that's because, you know, I think mainly it's because of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, to me, especially reading his book and once in a blue moon seeing, we know what's going on with the Total Bellas and all that, I just kind of, all right, she seems more like the cooler one. Okay, more of the homebody, tomboyish one. Okay, whatever, cool. But Nikki, yeah, no, thank you. Moving on. Let's go. All right, we got one more match to talk about. Then we're going to open up the phone lines. So for those of you that want to call on in, let me know what you thought about the pay-per-view event. Get ready for the call-in number. It was Roman Reigns defeating Brock Lesnar in about 6 minutes to become the new Universal Champion. Both guys getting booed, but Roman Reigns getting more of a mixed reaction. You definitely heard the cheers tonight. Boy, one spot though, you heard the fans chant to both of those guys unanimously, "You both suck." So you're going, that's not really good. I love seeing Braun Strowman come out, tell both of those guys, hey, you know I got this Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm telling you guys straight to your faces, because I don't believe in coming from behind crap. I'm telling both of you guys as it stands right now. Good luck to you, Brock Lesnar. Or what do you call Brock Lesnar, by the way? What do you call him? I'm trying to think of the funny name that he Beastie Boy. That's what he called him. He said, "Good luck to you, Beastie Boy," and that actually had made the fans chant Beastie Boy at Brock Lesnar. And then he says, "Good luck to Roman Reigns," but he goes, "Hey, whichever one of you wins, I'm letting you guys know I'm next. And one of y'all gonna get these hands." So you're going, okay, so Braun is basically gonna cash in the briefcase as soon as this is all over with. Okay, great. So Braun is just standing there as the match is going on. And let me sum this match up for you guys. So pretty much we had saw just off the break, soon as the bell rings, grand total, I'm summarizing here. 3 Superman punches, according to my notes. 3 spears. And then we saw Roman Reigns try to go for the pin. But then we see Brock Lesnar. He quickly countered that pin. Turned it into a good guillotine hold. Roman somehow able to get out of that. Eventually we had saw the action make its way outside of the ring. Braun Strowman looking on. As a matter of fact, if I remember the spot correctly, at one point when they were fighting in the ring, I want to say Brock sent Roman flying out, and Roman accidentally hits Braun. And then Brock Lesnar comes out. He's trying to finish up on Roman, and he decides to take a little bit of an advantage on Braun while he's still down, grabs the Money in the Bank briefcase, just starts wailing on Braun Strowman, throws that Money in the Bank briefcase way across the stage ramp, pretty much had hit the top of the stage area, goes back to work on freaking Roman Reigns, pretty much takes the action back into the ring. As far as you guys going, what's going on with Braun? Braun's pretty much like not even part of this freaking equation now. He's just he's not even there. All right, so then afterwards we see Braun. He continues to be assaulted by Brock Lesnar as Lesnar smacks Braun with a steel chair, couple of steel chair shots. Lesnar yells at Braun while Braun is down crawling on the ramp. We see Lesnar return to the ring with a steel chair, looking to take that to the body of Roman, but Roman counters with another spear from out of nowhere and is able to pick up the W that way and is your new WWE Universal Champion. Again, that was like 6 minutes and some change. You know, it's interesting that Braun Strowman never fully recovered and he didn't try to get him a piece of whoever the champion was, right? But let's really rewind it back a little bit and let's try to keep something in mind. Now, Brock Lesnar is supposed to be advertised for this Monday's Raw. So you can't help but wonder what's going to happen on that Raw. Is Brock Lesnar going to come out and is he maybe going to say, hey, I do have a rematch clause and I'm going to enforce it right now? Is it possible that Brock Lesnar could win the title back? Stranger things have happened post Summerslam edition of Monday Night Raw. So I'm very curious. And then how much of a factor is Braun Strowman going to be playing? One thing's for certain. There's no way, at least for the time being, you can have a face Brock Lesnar and a face Braun Strowman. Not when pretty much it's safe to say Brock Lesnar is going to be on his way out the door, focus on his MMA career. Raw needs a next top tier heel guy. And between Roman and Braun, one of those guys, they got to be it. You know, you can't have just a big old, platter of faces on Monday Night Raw and those marquee spots. So something's got to give. But I'm very curious what's going to be playing about on Monday Night Raw. Look, the fans, I must say, I got to give the fans a bit of credit. They crapped on Lesnar and Roman early on. But you know what? When this match had pretty much wrapped itself up, the fans actually were I won't say respectful. That's not the word I'm going to use. But the fans actually came off, okay, well, yeah, that's okay. No problem. It's all right. Am I glad that Brock Lesnar is no longer champion? Yes, I am glad. I am glad that the title is finally off of him. But at the same time, the hating on the Roman Reigns, it's just going to freaking continue, right? And I told you guys, I've been preparing you guys for a long time. I said, look, whether you like Roman Reigns or not, what I think of him doesn't matter. What ultimately matters, though, is what you guys think of him. And sadly, in the case of WWE, it doesn't matter what you think, because as far as they're concerned, that guy's going to be the face of the company for many years to come. And that's the God's honest truth. You know, from what I saw in those closing moments, the fans didn't really boo on the Roman Reigns moment. I think it's just a situation where euphoria has really kicked in, and it's okay, great. We no longer have Brock Lesnar as the champion. So that's great. You know, now you just hope that things can really get back to basic. And, all right, we've got a fighting champion once again. Both shows are now represented by a world heavyweight champion. You're now going to be able to turn on the channel, see that champion every single week. So that's great. But I don't think we're quite out of the woods just yet, guys. We got to go into Monday's Raw. Brock is supposed to be advertised for that show. What's he going to do? Is he going to enforce a rematch? Because I tell you, I'm going no. But I'm more and more sold on an idea of Brock Lesnar possibly winning the title right back less than 24 hours later. And I pray to God that don't happen, because that would really piss off some people. Let me tell you, that would piss off some serious amounts of people. And I see more and more people that were just putting that idea out there over the past several weeks. And I'm going, no, but then the more and more I thought about it, I'm going, shit, that actually could happen. That would be so fucked up if that actually did happen. But okay, I can actually see this. So we got one more show to get in the way there, and we'll see how that pans out. Put it to you this way. We got to see what's going to happen with Raw, and then what's going to be happening with Hell in a Cell. Unless Brock goes, okay, I'm reinforcing my rematch clause, I want my title shot at Raw, or is he going to enforce it at Hell in a Cell? I tell you, I don't know. I don't know. But it's safe to say that with regards to Braun Strowman with the Money in the Bank briefcase, it's safe to say that he's going to be picking his moment very carefully. I don't think he's going to be holding that briefcase all the way until next year. I just don't see that happening. I think a lot sooner. What is this, August right now? I kind of have the impression that Braun is probably going to cash in that briefcase maybe by November. And November is like right at around Survivor Series time. I wouldn't be surprised if Braun cashed in right around there. I'm not seeing just off the break but then stranger things have happened. We could see in less than 24 hours a combination of Brock Lesnar enforcing his rematch. He gets the title back, but then Braun Strowman comes out, cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and Raw goes off the air with Braun Strowman as the new champion. Something to think about. Stranger things have happened. Let's get ready to open up the phone lines. And by the way, looking at the current polling results right now, and I am seeing here, let me pull up these polling results, because we got two polling results. I got one on YouTube right now. You can go on youtube.com/RCWR Show, the RCWR Show. And we have the other on YouTube. No, we already say YouTube. On Twitter, I was trying to say. Forgive me, guys. We got the other poll on Twitter right now. Twitter at the RCWR Show. Give me a follow over there as well, and also on Facebook. And welcome, if you guys are new, do hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on all the great content that comes your way on a weekly basis. And shout out to Paul. Paul's listening via Spreaker. Paul said, dude, the show volume is awesome. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Let's see. Polling results right now. I can't believe we've already done a 2-hour show. No, that's not right, because actually I came on, I spent about 15 minutes playing some audio. I was listening to some music, and then, okay, so I think the actual stream is going to be about an hour and maybe 45 minutes. So that's actually not that bad. Let's see if we can wrap this up in under 2 hours, though. That's the go. All right. So our polling results right now, I am seeing about... Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Take this how you want it. There's 2 different polls right now. 3 total, but 2 very different polls on Twitter. So, strictly asking RCWR Show followers, what did they think about SummerSlam tonight? Right down the middle. 50% thumbs up, 50% thumbs down. Now, same question asked, but it was asked basically through WWE's respected social media page, and those that voted, 39% gave it a thumbs up, 61% gave the pay-per-view a thumbs down. Very, very, very interesting. And for those of you that are curious how it is so far on YouTube, let's pull up YouTube here. And let's see what's going on here. YouTube. Let me load this bad boy up. And bear with me a second here, guys. Sorry for that silence there. Just loading this bad boy up. Load it up. Load it up. There we go. Perfect. And let's see what we got here. Okay. YouTube, on the Communities tab, 64% of you are giving it a thumbs up. 36% of you are giving it a thumbs down. So kind of interesting what's going on here. Very interesting results. All right, let's go ahead. Let's open up the phone lines, man. You guys want to call in? You're more than welcome to do show. You're more than welcome to do so. Kickback Smiling Dow. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I do that, hang on. Okay. I think we're good now. Yes, now we're good. Okay, if you guys want to call into the show now you can. Number to call is 202-697-9449. That's 202-697-9449. Anybody that wants to call into the show, you're more than welcome to. And see if we can get some calls on the air here, man, before we get ready to wrap it up. And while I have put that number out there, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat room here. Let's see. Looking in the chat room here. Hey, Carlson, how you doing? Hey, glad you appreciate the show, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, man, and click on the bell notification so you don't miss out on all the great content that comes your way on a weekly basis, my friend. The goal is to hit 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. Right now, we have 11,500. I want to see that go up by 4,000 before or by WrestleMania. So let's see if we can do that. We call this the re-emergence, the reapplying of one of the best shows on YouTube. I'm actually reapplying for that certificate. I lost that certificate. It's magically just a certificate. I magically lost that bad boy a couple of years back because I pretty much was slacking and went on a little bit of hiatus and all that. So, Nigel, hey Nigel, I would love to see Owens get involved. Oh, just with regards to the whole cash in? Yeah, I think that would be interesting too. Hey, Carrie. Carrie said just subbed. All right, Carrie, love that. Shout out to Carrie. Kendo, will we ever see Raw Reigns versus SmackDown Styles for both titles? It's very well possible, and I'm going to be honest with you. This deal with Fox, I'm going to be paying very close attention to it because honestly, I think what would make a lot of sense would be if WWE just had one champion and they were a roaming champion. You know what I'm saying? It could be a situation where 1 minute SmackDown, they do a little number one contenders tournament or whatever, and that person will face that champion, and then once that pay-per-view event is over, then you go over to Raw and you pretty much do like a rinse and repeat type of deal. I would love the idea though for just a traveling champion between both shows. I think that would be really badass. Kind of reminds me of the much older days that they used to do it with the early incarnation of the brand split and all that. Let's see what else. We'll see. Going through some more chats here. Randy saying, book it. Cena versus Reigns Mania. I don't really know if I want to see that. I don't know. I don't know, dudes. I don't really know if I want to see that. To each its own, but I don't really know if I want to see that. Taylor, I think Nia should get a rematch for the title. I think it'll happen eventually. I mean, look, man, nobody's going to definitely take away what Nia Jax had did with Ronda Rousey a couple of months back. I mean, that was her best performance this very day, right? We can all be in agreement. I mean, she showed what she is really capable of when she really puts her heart and mind to it and really goes out there and busts her ass. So, and it sucks that we haven't seen her the past couple of weeks as she's kind of done like that Pearl Jam song. I'm in hiding. I'm in hiding. I mean, that's basically what Nia's been doing. But no, in all seriousness, I would love to see Nia and Ronda Rousey again. I would. Maybe it can happen at Evolution. John, totally right with the Bellas, no business being in the ring. Yeah. And for you guys earlier, with regards to Jim the Anvil Neidhart, SummerSlam 1990, can I just read to you guys the card real quick? And I also got not really SummerSlam news, but definitely with regards to SummerSlam 2019, y'all may find some of what I have to say kind of interesting. So at the Spectrum in Philadelphia was SummerSlam 1990. Listen to this card. Shane Douglas defeated Buddy Rose. Power and Glory, which was Hercules and Paul Roma with Slick, defeated the Rockers, Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels. Texas Tornado defeated Mr. Perfect. Queen Sherry defeated Sapphire. The Warlord defeated Tito Santana. The Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, defeated Demolition's Crush and Smash. That was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Jake Roberts defeated Bad News Brown. Jim Duggan and Nikolai Volkov defeated the Orient Express. Randy Savage defeated Dusty Rhodes. Hulk Hogan defeated Earthquake. And Steel Cage match for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship, Ultimate Warrior defeated Rick Rude. Talk about some fun times with that card. Wow, that's a nice-ass trip down memory lane. Again, that was SummerSlam 1990. That went down August 27th of 1990 at the Spectrum venue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Talking about SummerSlam. With regards to SummerSlam 2019, I thought this piece of news was very interesting. I was a little bit curious, and I actually went online trying to see what was going on with SummerSlam 2019. Well, no announcements has been made just yet, but you've got rumors that's floating around. Now, according to PW Insider, they're actually reporting that many in the company believe SummerSlam 2019 will be held, get this, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Interesting, right? That would be very unique if it would end up in Canada, but they are also entertaining offers. Soldier Field in Chicago. Might be a little bit too cold in April to hold a WrestleMania if you think about that, but Chicago, good wrestling crowd. I could see SummerSlam in Chicago. That would be pretty interesting. Goddamn, that would give me another reason to go to Chicago, quite honestly. So, it's also possible that maybe, just maybe, it could also happen in Detroit. But all signs are indicating right now that next year's SummerSlam could be going to Canada. So I'm not really sure how some of you guys, how some of you feel about that. Because I know these past 4 years, it's been like, if you're on the East Coast, right, or kind of Midwest, you're going, New York, no problem. Yeah, all right, I'm going to go do this SummerSlam thing. Yeah, I'm gonna drive on over there. Hey, I got some friends in New York. Oh, I'm good to go, man. So if it's true, if this news is true, all I gotta say is it was fun while it lasted. That's all I gotta say. It was fun while it lasted. Let's see what else we got here. Lee, when are we gonna have a tag team? When are we gonna have a tag team championship in women's division for Raw and SmackDown? What do you mean, like a fusion? Like there can be only one? Kind of like where things are right now, honestly, with the women's division. I don't know, Steve. I'm not stumped on that question. I like for how it is right now. I look at certain titles and I say, you know what? It's good we're doing the brand split right now. It makes a lot of sense that we have this champion here and then this champion over here, because you're almost kind of getting like exclusively your own unique experience / show. So I think it's kind of cool that the way that they got it set up right now. I think if I were to just cut back on one title, I would definitely cut back on having 2 world champions. I think it really just makes all the sense in the world to just have 1 world champion. If you guys want to call in, go ahead, man. Phone line is open. Let me give you that number one more time. 202-697-9449. Again, the number to call into the show, 202-697-9449. Let's see what else we got. A lot of good stuff in the chat room I'm reading here, man. I like this. Esteban, what if Brock loses to Daniel? Oh, yeah, if he lost to DC, ooh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? And after he lost tonight, Waste. Yeah. That would be interesting. Yes, Shaba, I will be covering All In. I'm actually pretty excited for it. Can't wait. Now, I was trying to get tickets to go to the All In event, but they went out so fast and the prices for them bad boys, wasn't feeling it. But I'll be checking it out on pay-per-view or on the Fight TV app. Do I think WWE doing an undefeated streak with the Demon for SummerSlam? Do I think WWE is doing an undefeated streak with the Demon for SummerSlam? No, I don't think so. No. Tag team championship for women would be great for each brand, considering there are a few women factions going on. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Let me scroll back up to the top. Let me see some of the comments that's coming in here. Show some love earlier here. I also got to go over to Facebook. I saw some notifications here earlier. Bear with me a second here, guys. Okay, good. I'm actually good on Facebook. Good. And let's go back to the chat here. All right, let me just go through some more comments here. Keep smashing the like button. The more likes, the better. And subscribe. CJ said SummerSlam sucked. CJ, what made SummerSlam suck for you, buddy? Let's see. Hey, I'm with you, Mark. Nakamura versus Hardy. That was a little bit predictable. Just a little bit. Was it Shaba? Was it Hill Becky that we saw tonight? Or was it just a Becky that finally just lost it? Was it a Becky that just said, screw this? Just seriously, like, just screw this. and she just snapped. What the fuck was up with the makeup, by the way, for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey? Did anybody else peep that out? I mean, that was so weird. It was like Mad Max meets one of them DC comic book characters. Injustice 2. I can't think of the character right now, but the villain from the Justice League movie. Right. I mean, the whole highlighter and all that was going on. Both Becky and Ronda, they had that look that was going on. I was just going, what the hell? Let's see. What else we got here? Seeing some comments about 205 Live. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching a lot more 205. Just to see what's going on with them. Let me show that comment. That comment's actually good. Let's see here. She wasn't she Party Hard? Yeah. Party Hard was talking about how Becky Lynch was a really good heel down in NXT. I remember catching the tail end. Yeah, she actually was pretty good. Could Carmella be a great face? Nah, she's tried that before, remember? And it didn't work out too well. Favorite incarnation of Samoa Joe? Samoa Joe, for the most part, has been the same guy, give or take. But I love the Samoa Joe that had the feud going on the first go-around with Kurt Angle. That, for me, was like, of all the eras of Samoa Joe, that era in particular I had enjoyed. My allergies are really starting to kick my ass here. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, let me catch up here. NXT was like ECW, had that feel. Yeah. Tina Turner. Where we get Tina Turner from? What helped the two brand out TV champ? What's this about Tina Turner, though? You got to clue me in on that. What's up with that? How do I feel about Dave Meltzer getting in a fight with Peyton Royce? That went down what? That went down while we were in between shows, I think, is when that news went down. Because I actually did not get a chance to talk about that. I think that news went down Wednesday or Thursday. It had went down. So that's a completely different topic for another show. I'll actually get into that. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta hear myself. Sorry about that, guys. I'll actually get into that on Tuesday's show. You guys on the downloads, you're like, what the hell just happened? It's like I disconnected my headphones, so I couldn't hear anything, and I acted like it was the end of the world, but it wasn't because my microphone is still hooked up. No, we'll get into the whole Dave Meltzer, Peyton Royce. I got a unique take on it, but we'll get into that on Tuesday's show. At this point, your next edition of the RCWR Show is going to be coming at you guys on Tuesday of August 21st, 2018. I'll be coming on live as soon as SmackDown goes off the air. We'll be streaming on YouTube. We'll also be streaming on Spreaker, live via the RCWR Show app. If you can't join us live, the episodes will be available for your downloading and listening pleasure on various platforms. All right, so I can't wait because we'll talk about Dave Meltzer, Peyton Royce deal. There's some new All In news that came in. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff that we'll be able to talk about on Tuesday's show. So I'm actually looking very forward to that. And for those of you that's going to be waiting for the audio version of this, give me about 25-30 minutes at most, and I will have this be available. Spreaker and Spotify will get first dibs. The audio will trickle on down to the other platforms in the wee hours of the night. Everybody in the chat room that came represented live for this show, I appreciate it tremendously. Those of you that hit that sub button. I love that. I appreciate that. Thank you and welcome on board. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe. You're checking this out on YouTube. Not only do you hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on all the great content that comes your way on a week-to-week basis. All right? So until this Tuesday show, 10 p.m. Eastern after SmackDown, I am wishing all of you all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. May the good news be yours. Everybody, do take care.